Okay. Label your notes with the date, top right-hand corner. It's 9/18/13. 2.5 midpoints. Pretty easy section. Without reading a thing in this section, if you were to find midpoint, what would you guys say?
The middle point.
Point in the middle. Okay. Well then, in contrast, what does middle mean?
Between two things.
Well,
Uh,
okay, let me ask you this. I'm sitting right here. Would you guys say I was sitting in the middle of the room, in the middle between that wall and that wall?
No.
Why not?
because you're not.
Distances.
Okay, so when we think of middle, same distance from each side,
Yeah.
maybe? In essence, you've defined what a midpoint is. Now, definition in the book's going to be a little more mathy or, geometry-like. But what do you think you could say about the midpoint? If I said M is the midpoint of segment AB, what do you think we could say?
Units in the middle of AB.
That distance is equal to what?
That distance.
We mark them congruent. So we could say that AM is congruent to MB because it cuts it in half, right? A midpoint cuts a segment in half. And as a result, the distance from A to M is equal to the distance from M to what?
B.
So if this one was 5, what's this one?
5.
Easy peasy, huh?
Mr. Stone, Mr. Stone, can I sit right there, please?
So now we understand the concept of what midpoint is. Now we're going to talk about finding the midpoint on the number line. What's a number line look like?
Line with numbers. Looks like that.
That's a number line, is it not?
Yep.
To find the midpoint between 2 points on a number line, add the coordinates up and divide by 2. That's how you find the midpoint. So as an example, if you guys can find the midpoint of AB. My question to you is though, can you do it the way I just, can you use this, can you, I'm not asking you to look at this picture and figure out where the middle is. I realize you can probably do that. What I want you to do is find the midpoint between 2 points of the number line, add the coordinates up and divide by 2. Use this. Would equal what?
-1.
Well, how would you get it?
-4 plus 2.
Okay, the coordinates of A are -4, right? Add it to the coordinates of the other one. What's the coordinate of the other one?
2.
Then divide that whole thing by what?
2.
You get a -2 over what?
2.
Which is a negative what? Now, since we have the picture, does that seem like it's right in the middle at -1? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It is right in the middle, isn't it? That's easy enough, isn't it? Finding the midpoint on the x, y coordinate plane.
Bless you.
Draw a picture of a coordinate plane. I'm copying this a little bit out of the book. Midpoint, you know what you do? You add the x's, divide by 2, then you add the what? Divide by 2. Probably need to make that a little bigger. How would you find the midpoint of AB? Yeah. Stop playing around, seriously. Guys, how would we find the midpoint of AB?
Add 1 and 5, divide by 2, and add 4.
Add my x's. What are my x's? 1 and what?
5.
1 plus 5 divide by what?
2.
How would I find the y?
You would do the same with the y's.
Yeah.
So it'd be 4 plus what? 1 divided by what?
2.
Here you get 6 over 2, comma, here you get 5 over 2. How would you write your answer? Well, that comes out even. It'd be 3 comma 2 and 1/2. That's where the midpoint would be. It's not so bad, is it?
No, not be Christian.
When you're done writing that down, get your worksheet out. For examples. Do I realize that what we have up there on the board you can do in your head?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, some of it you can. Do I care?
No,
No.
sir.
What do I want you to do?
Right there.
Write it down, prove to me you know what you're doing. Don't just write me an answer.
Want to make sure we know it.
It does not take that long to put that in that, what I did right there. Show to me you know how to do it. Now, do I care that you go from the first one to the last one, maybe? That isn't as big a deal to me. What is important to me is initially showing that you know how to put it into what? The rule that we've learned in this section, okay? You don't have to necessarily write 6 over 2, comma 5 over 2. You can go straight from the first to the last there. You know, that's pretty easy. All right, everybody got that? Let's look at, they want us to find what? The number line, find the midpoint of each segment, LT. What are the coordinates of L?
1.
Remember that on a number line, it's just like we're doing just the x coordinate. Add the two, isn't this basically just the x-axis?
Yes, sir.
So you add the x's divided by 2. The coordinate of L is what? 1 plus, what's the coordinate of T?
4.
4,
Divided by?
2,
2.
Should give you 5 over 2, which gives you 2 and 1 what?
Half.
I mean, half.
JL. Anyway, let's not do JL. Let's go, not LR. Let's go CJ. Well, no. Yeah, we'll do that. CJ. We'll do 4. What would the coordinate of C be?
Negative
So
4.
it'll be negative 4 plus, what's the coordinate of J?
0.
Divided by,
2.
it's not hard to write that. Show me you know what you're doing. And it's also not hard to draw a picture of that and write CJ, so I know that this problem deals with what?
CJ.
C and what?
J.
It's not that hard to write that. Write problems, draw the figure, show all steps and work.
Either.
This is writing the problem down. This is drawing the figure. You only have to do one. If this was your homework, you know, this is in the book. And this would be showing all steps and work. That's not that hard, is it?
No.
I didn't ask you to write the directions, did I? I'm hoping that you showing me this tells me what the directions were, right?
Yes.
What about EK? What are the coordinates of E?
3.5.
No.
2, yeah, 2.5.
Negative 1, 2, negative 2.5, plus, what's the coordinates of K?
1.5.
All of that over?
2.
Now, you've got a negative and a positive. If you can't see in your head that this is negative 2 over 2, then use your what? Calculator that does fractions. What's the answer is what? Negative 1. I do want your answers left as a fraction though.
Do or don't?
I do. CR.
Negative 4.
What is the coordinates of C?
Negative 4.
Plus, what is the coordinates of R?
2.5.
2.5.
Divided by?
2.
2.
What are you going to get there?
Negative
1 and 7.
You're basically going to get 1 and 1/2, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that with a negative 1 and 1/2 divided by 2?
Yeah. We get 0.75.
Hmm?
0.75. Negative 0.75.
I don't want decimals, didn't I? Use the A, B
1/4.
over C button in your calculator.
1/4.
Negative what?
1/4. Oh, negative 1/4.
3/4.
And then the 3/4?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I forgot to add the 1. Yeah, negative 3/4.
Okay. Learn how to use those calculators. Let's skip down here to number, how about we do 9? I'm going to add my x's. My x's are 9 plus what?
3.
Divided by 2, comma. my y's are 3 plus what?
1.
Divided by 2. Is there really that few people who know what to do there?
Oh, no, it's just gonna.
What's 9 plus negative 3?
Yeah,
Six.
6.
What's 3 plus 1?
4.
4.
So 4 over 2. Your answer is 3,
2.
comma 2. All positive. Writing the problem. Showing all steps and work. There was no figure to draw, was there?
No.
You don't necessarily have to have that step, but you have to have this one. Right, Damon? You guys are getting to a point where I'm telling you I'm going to separate you because you can't help yourself. Poor Damon's the only one I can see. I know he's not the only one talking. Now, find the midpoint of the segment that has the endpoints. Is this, what's different about 13 than 9?
There's
It's on the
a-
line. You have to find the midpoint between those 2 points.
You have to find
You
And
can't
not
just
just-
count, you have to do.
You have to add the x's and
It's
the
a
y's.
word problem? No.
Yeah, in my opinion, the only difference is this. Here, they said in 7 through 12, each, these are the coordinates of what? An
Segment.
endpoint, find the what? So they kind of put all the words in the directions here. The only difference here is they asked for one specific, couldn't they have said, would we have done the same thing if on number 9 they had said find the midpoint of segment that has endpoints 9 comma 3 and negative 3 comma 1? Would we have done the exact same thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So just try, they're wording it in a different way to see if you understand the concept or basically understand that they're asking the same thing. So to find the midpoint, we would go what? Negative 4 plus what? Divided by 2, and then it would be negative 5 plus what?
Negative
Negative
2.
Divided by 2. And basically you'd get, what would you get, 6 over 2? Positive 6 over 2, comma,
And then,
negative 7 over 2.
yeah.
So as a result, you would get 3 comma negative 3 1/2. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, 14. Is it any different?
No, yes.
Yes, it is. This is that, when I say 99% of the time you're going to have to create an equation, this is actually the 1% that you probably don't. But in essence, is it any different?
No.
Did they give you 2 endpoints?
Yes.
Did they ask you to find the midpoint?
Yes.
Yep.
It's no different. What you do is no different. It's just the numbers are a little uglier. Don't discriminate against ugly people. It's not their fault. Trust me, I know. I know that is funny because I am pretty, right?
Yes, you're very pretty.
Yes.
Thank you. Good, you're all good days. Anyhow, point I'm making, to find the midpoint. What's the x-coordinate here? 4x plus 0 divided by what?
2.
2y,
Comma,
oh, 2.
divided by 2. Nothing's changed. We had the x-coordinates up and divide by what?
2.
2.
Like I said, they're just a little uglier. Over here for this one,
2y.
2y plus what?
Negative 2y.
Negative 2y divided by.
2.
Now, we can combine like terms here. 4x plus
Plus
4x plus 0 is what?
4x.
Divided by?
2.
2.
What is 2y plus a negative 2y?
0.
Over?
2.
Well, answer me this. What does 4x over 2 produce to?
Negative. Nope, I don't.
Negative
4 divided by 2. If
Oh,
the
yeah.
x wasn't there, would you just say the answer was 2?
Yeah.
What's the difference? It's just 2 what now?
X.
What's 0 divided by 2?
0.
0.
So the midpoint will always be 2 times whatever x is, comma, 0 for this situation here. It's just we don't know what x or y was, but it turns out because it's 2 times y and a negative 2 times y, halfway in between those is always going to be what?
0.
0, no matter what y is. Okay? Everybody understand?
Yeah.
It's not too terrible, is it?
Nope. Just gonna do it tonight. Yeah.
Guess what song was stuck in my head last night?
What?
Don't start it again.
Write problems, draw figures, show all steps and work. You have today and tomorrow to get this done, and a little bit of Friday. Don't forget that you will have 2, 3, 2, 4, and 2, 5 to turn in this Friday. Everybody got that?
I put 9, 18, 19.
I got it now.
Don't die.